Mr. Kevin Duncan, what are your earliest memories?
I was born a poor black child in Stockton, California. I remember watching the funeral of John F. Kennedy. And I remember thinking, oh, this is something sad. Somebody important has died. And I remember feeling that pain, you know, and I was as time goes on, I feel more and more fortunate that I got what in those days was a pretty goddamn good, quote-unquote, free public education. I remember falling in love in kindergarten. I do. I remember playing with this girl in the sandbox. I don't remember her name. This was in Stockton before I moved to Lodi, and I remember walking her home from school and at 5 and thinking, well, this must be what love is all about. I left my hometown because I went to school, and I watched a lot of my friends doing just that, and I watched a lot of beer drinking going on and a lot of shenanigans, and I began to feel like Thoreau even then when he said, most men lead lives of quiet desperation. And that sobered me up so much that it scared the shit out of me. What happened was I became so disgusted and disillusioned and angry and confused and bitter about my existence and where it was at that time. I reached a point in life I didn't fucking care. And I really did not care what happened to me. I'd been reading many spiritual books from the time I was a young man, and was always interested, more than most people I know, in those sorts of things. And India, to me, represented a place where my guru came from, and I read all his stories about his childhood and the amazing events that happened to him. I hope that it's still in my cards to be able to do a lot more traveling, because it's when I'm the most happiest, you know. It's that feeling that you're just going where you're going without really knowing what's coming, and again, it's this mix of trepidation and awe, and it's exciting. It makes you feel alive. In all my travels, I learned that everything in the end is going to be okay. And that is, on Christmas Day, there was a big fire in my house, and I was unaware of this fire, sleeping, and this fire was due to my negligence in lighting incense in the wrong place, and it ended up catching my entire altar on fire. To me, the remarkable thing about it is I have some evidence that clearly shows that this fire took a line across the table, burned up the Christmas tree, burned up all the gifts at an extraordinarily hot temperature, burned them to just a molten mass, and yet the Bible that was sitting there remained untouched, and all of the gurus and saints that I had placed carefully on this altar were also completely untouched from the heat of that fire. And all glories to all saints of all religions. The answer is much simpler than we think. We think it has to be really complex and high-level metaphysics. Let us explore these things and prove them beyond a shadow of a doubt in our own consciousness, so that we no longer feel we have to hate our brothers. Remember, our most important duty is to our Creator, and all things shall be added unto us.